Yo, how's everyone doing? It's been a while. Um, just thought I'd make a quick video. This is completely unprepped, so don't expect anything special. Um, I have obviously been working, had a few life things, had some drug addicts kicking their way into my building. Um, it's been a roller coaster, I would say. Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought I'd make this. There's a couple things I wanted to talk about, um, and people I wanted to highlight uh, currently in this sort of online sphere who are, well, some of them are like massive inspirations, but some of them are, well, all of them are in different ways, but, you know, some people I've watched a lot longer than others, and I feel like I just need to sort of, you know, tell everyone else about them because they're actually great, I would say great people to sort of pay attention to. Especially right now considering like Britain and the UK and what's going on over here on this side of this little part of the world. Yeah, basically I don't know. There's a lot going on right now politically, and there's certain people who I've been watching quite a bit, and I feel like what they're saying is real talk, and I would highly recommend that you sort of check them out. Not that anyone who's watching this would. I'm not gonna be driving sort of an audience to them. It just is literally, this is just a sort of my feelings on it. Yeah, basically just to round them off. Zach Polanski, he's head of the Green Party in the UK. Not a party I really would have ever thought about before, but I don't know, he's taking this sort of no bullshit approach to politics. And I'm not saying I agree with everything that he says, but most of the stuff is pretty spot on. And yeah, it's like so refreshing to watch this guy online. He's probably unlike any politician like we've had in the UK for fucking decades. So yeah, would highly recommend sort of checking him out if you wanted to get clued in on sort of things that are going on. And yeah, also, I don't know, obviously I'm starting off with him, but it kind of, just to like sort of, there's more thinking behind this, to be honest. I feel like there's sort of pockets of people, influencers, if you might want to call them, people who have influence, who I don't know, they're doing a lot of good right now, and bringing a lot of attention to important, like the most important topics that people should be talking about at the moment. And they're all good people. And yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I'm not saying they should like team up like it's WWE or something, but it's kind of, it's good to be aware of sort of these different areas that are these different people who are talking about different things, but it's all kind of, there's sort of a collective, there's like a theme between them. You'll see it if you go and watch them, and following all these different people, you get a good sense of what's going on. And it's, I don't know, who knows whether they'll team, like there's a couple of economists in there, of course, who, one of them's American, one of them's British, and they're kind of, to be fair, one of them is trying to sort of change, well, the British guy's trying to change Britain, like it changed the fucking, the landscape of the country. But the other one is more, I guess, she has a lot of good stuff, like kind of highlighting important topics, and she kind of speaks to US politicians and stuff, and I think it's more of a personal gig for her than like a mission, so just to say, yeah, the British guy is Gary's Economics, and the American woman is Kyla Scanlon, who sort of, she has like a couple of her own companies, and sort of a blog, and does videos, and really, I guess, I don't know, I guess sort of educator. there's a sort of, I think she's got some, she's maybe trying to start a sort of financial education company, or sort of collaborating with someone who was doing that. She's definitely doing a lot in terms of just getting people clued in on economics and what you need to know just for your own personal, like, well-being, you could argue. You know, highlights a lot of important topics, and I don't know, she has less of a mission, but I think still extremely valuable. She's like a golden nugget, like, on the internet. Guy's Economics, I'd say, was a golden nugget. He's kind of like really well known now if you're sort of looking into the political stuff. And yeah, they're just two obviously different ends, like different sides of the ocean, but both talking about extremely important stuff, and I'd highly recommend checking them out. Yeah, but then also, I know this is just a classic, right? But PewDiePie, I mean, fuck me, like, he's, I don't know, I know he's basically, he is retired essentially, but he still makes videos, and he talks a lot about sort of, I don't know, there's certain I've not watched him loads. I kind of stopped like the last couple of years mostly, but every now and again I'll pop on a video. And honestly, recently I put on one, it'd been a good while, and I was like, damn, this is actually like hella feel good, you know. It's like kind of, I don't think I feel like I've not consumed a piece of sort of media and actually like it's like significantly improved my mood. And yeah, I don't know, he's just like sort of a theme of like, so he, I guess recently, the most recent video, I think he was like trying to sort of run his own AI on a computer, which requires like 20 graphics cards, so like almost like a data center in your own home, which was hilarious. But I don't know, I illustrated a lot of points, but then I guess that wasn't really, you know, what I was getting at. But he you know, other stuff like, he's just doing stuff for himself, but then in a way he's just being a good influence. Like, sort of, he tried to move away from using Google because they just, I mean, they're like larger than governments at this point, and it's kind of it's, you know, make of that what you will. But yeah, so he kind of, I don't know, he was like making a video on, you know, how he's got like all the replacements he uses for all the sort of Google services, which was really interesting. And also, I think it was, I don't know if it was a whole video, but one on sort of like, he's like reduced everything in his life to just like one item. I know he's like heavy into this sort of philosophy and stoicism and stuff, but he sort of, and that's been for a lot of years, so I kind of, it's like, you know, that was interesting, just in a sort of, I don't know, it's something to consider for yourself, especially right now when things are like so expensive, whatnot, anyway, whatever. But I mean, he's meant it, but it's kind of more just like a personal thing. It's like, why not? And yeah, and then also I think he was sort of like did a video on running Linux on his computer, which is, you know, sort of a really like highly customizable operating system. Like, you basically, obviously, if you don't know, I guess you're either going to run Windows or Mac OS operating system, and Linux is another one. It's like, you know, highly popular with sort of programmers and developers because they can sort of tweak it to their liking. But, you know, Windows is shite also, if you didn't already know. And yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know, for, I guess, these videos, I feel like there's a running theme of like, you know, I don't know, kind of gaining your own freedom or like agency and sort of, yeah, getting your life back in a way. I can imagine if piracy was a thing, I don't know, he would, I don't know if what he'd be on is, well, I know what his opinion would be on it, and I don't know, it wouldn't be a bad one. And yeah, so like, it's kind of, I don't know, that's just another pocket of something where it's kind of, you know, making you looking at yourself a bit, and kind of, you know, what's it, you know, what's going on right now, and what's making you think about the way things are running. You the habits that we have. And I like obviously I've got my phone, which I hate. I'm just like, for me that's always been a thing. I don't know, I've not checked my screen time. It's probably like 4 hours a day or something, which is just horrific. And I feel like it is definitely, it's kind of put against, like the odds are against you in a sense. It's if you're trying to reduce screen time, sort of, I don't know, better habits, whatever. It is really extremely tough. Gary's Economics talks a lot about how, it's, if you're depending on obviously your background, your life's kind of like laid out for you, and you're kind of, it's almost out with your control. You've got to sort of beat the odds to sort of get yourself out of a sort of tough, like a tough situation, and it's extreme, like almost impossible basically. Yeah, and it's on it's on people it's on sort of those who can have like the time and capacity to change that. Is obviously changing the system and that sort of thing. His whole mission is a wealth tax, and yeah, I guess for myself it kind of feels not like I've been pretty lucky, just with my parents and all this sort of stuff and upbringing, but yeah, obviously I'm not, like, in my own way had sort of always trying to form better habits and do the right thing, etc. But I feel like for me, I guess like life gets in the way, but that is definitely just an excuse. But it kind of it feels like yeah, like I guess recently with the whole drug addict thing in the building, I kind of moved in with a friend for a bit because I was like, I can't not to be too much, give you too much, but like I can't step over any more blood and fucking needles. Like, it's just, I don't know, I've got a bit of a thing for sort of I don't know, I'm not too keen on fucking HIV or all this sort of shit, so it's kind of not, obviously chances are like nil, but it's kind of just sort of that sort of thing extremely bothers me. So I'm just like yeah, kind of packed up for a couple of weeks, and that meant that I didn't really do my physio, and yeah, a lot of good habits sort of went for a second. I'm back now, thank God, and things are getting fixed, so back on it. But I do sometimes, like, obviously, like, these things get in the way, and yeah, I guess it's just like a micro thing of it's I don't know, it just is difficult to sort of do well in these things. But yeah, back to the kind of main topic. These sorts of people, I feel like they're kind of, and also I don't know if he's currently the New York mayor, but his name evades me, just frustratingly. But he's like, talking about solving all these problems in New York, and he actually he's also another extremely refreshing figure in sort of politics, and I'll put links to all these people like in the description. But yeah, no, I do feel like sometimes it's just, I guess it just feels like sometimes decisions are, you're not making, you sort of try to make the right decisions, but it feels like it's kind of out with your control, and yeah, it's obviously, it's like it's who you are, it's like years of conditioning and whatever, but and yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is if I can reduce my phone screen time, then life will just be grand. And I don't know, I hate all the social media shite, and to be honest, I looked into buying a flip phone, and there's a guy, it's brilliant, like he breaks down every single flip phone on the planet you can imagine, and like you can filter them by every feature possible, like whether it has like Bluetooth, like some of them don't, or like banking services. That was one thing I was like, you just can't get away from with a smartphone. Like using banking services would just be impossible if you had like a brick phone, which was frustrating. Signing into things, all sorts of stuff, like going to events, like what are you gonna whip out the Nokia? Do you know what I mean? So, but to be honest, there's still other things I want to look into in terms of like fully hijacking the sort of OS of the phone, and making it so that I can't get into certain apps, whatever. But yeah, no, I don't know. I would also recommend, I guess, he's like the productivity guru. I hate that word, but yeah, online. Originally found him in uni because he was like sort of how to sort of be like really efficient with studying, etc. And he recommended this book called Make It Stick, which all the medical at Oxford graduates get told to read because it's I don't know, obviously it's extremely useful and backed up by a bunch of academic research or evidence. But yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to make a quick one. This has actually gone on way too long. 15 minutes, Jesus Christ. I hope you didn't get all the way through this. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.